Hi, Anthony Alfo here, and in this video we're going to talk about how to set your financial goals. When planning for retirement, the first step in the process is to establish the goals that you are hoping to achieve. From there, you can test the different strategies that are available to you in addition to your current strategy that you're using to identify what is the most efficient or appropriate strategy that you want to implement in order to achieve that goal. Once you identify the most appropriate strategy, you then know exactly what actions you need to take in order to implement it, and from there, that will lead to peace of mind. We typically break your goals into two types of categories: spending goals and protection goals. Let's talk about spending goals first. Spending goals can be broken into three different categories: needs, wants, and wishes. Needs we would typically classify as non-negotiable types of expenses that you have in order to maintain and run your household in order for you to have a certain type of quality of life. When it comes to wants and wishes, these can be categorized more as a discretionary type of goal. They can be things such as charitable intent, having a second home or vacation home in retirement, or having a legacy goal where you want to leave behind a certain type of amount of money to your kids or grandchildren. When it comes to your protection goals, we generally categorize them into 12 different types of risk. But first, before we talk about them, let's talk about the 4 ways that you can manage these types of risk. The first way is to completely avoid the risk. The second is to assume the risk. The third way is to mitigate the risk from its full potential and impact that it could have if it were to happen. And fourth, that would be to transfer the risk. A lot of times that could be to an insurance company. So let's talk about the 12 different types of risks. The first category we'll identify is outliving your resources. That first subtopic would be longevity risk. That's the chances of you outliving your money and resources. The second category there is inflation risk. That is the cost of goods and services becoming higher and higher at a point at which your resources and nest egg are unable to keep up with the cost of it, and then you might have to make some type of adjustment in your plan where you're not able to maintain a similar type of living standard. The third topic there, or risk category, is overspending. That is spending more than what your current resources and nest egg are able to provide, ultimately leading to you to have to either A, make adjustments, or B, running out of money. The next category would be investment risk. We can break them into 4 topics, the first being interest rate risk, the second one being stock market returns. An example of that would be a period of time of underperformance or stock market volatility. The third topic there being sequence of return risk, and that is less about the returns but more about the sequence in which they actually happen, and more specifically in the first half of retirement. The fourth topic there is tax law risk. That identifies or is at the point of your 401ks and IRAs where you have some assumption of how much taxes you're going to pay when you take that money out, and the risk of it being higher in the future because tax laws shift in a different way. The third topic is aging risk. These can be classified as healthcare expenses, the cost at which healthcare continues to rise, long-term care costs, which are different than healthcare costs, cognitive decline, and elderly financial abuse. Now, I know a lot of these topics are not fun to want to think about, but it's really important that you do have a discussion and ultimately a strategy around all 12 of them. So which risks concern you the most? Oftentimes we see people that have maybe 1 to 2 of these risks at the top of their minds along with their spending goals. But I think it's really important to make sure that you have a 360 type of approach to make sure that you're addressing them all, because at the end of the day, any of these risks could ultimately erode or have a negative impact over your retirement plan. So I hope that this topic was helpful in identifying the processes and what's important when it comes to goal setting. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to maximize your Social Security. Thanks.